One of my clients who's a therapist said something that hit me like a ton of bricks. And I know it's true, but we don't acknowledge it. What he said is that our childhood dysfunction, our childhood conditioning, our childhood programming, our childhood environment, and the way that shapes our personality never really leaves us. And we can mold it, shape it, adapt to it, improve it. But at its core, we are who we are. And some people might look at that and feel that's discouraging. I look at that and it's actually liberating because it gives us the ability to accept ourselves as we are. So many of my clients in life coaching, one of the things that we work through and they struggle with is self-acceptance. We hear it oftentimes that we need to accept ourselves, we need to love ourselves before we can love other people or accept other people. It's almost a cliche to say, you need to accept yourself. But actually doing it is very challenging, especially when the world is showing you all of its highlight reel, all the best of, and on the person we're supposed to be and what we're supposed to accomplish and how hardworking and disciplined and successful and beautiful and famous and rich we're supposed to be. There's so many standards that we will really, the majority of us will never be able to live up to. And even people that do reach those accomplishments, become rich and famous and powerful and successful, they still carry with them their childhood programming. And interesting example is Steve Jobs and him being adopted. And one of the children on the block made fun of him because he was adopted and didn't have real parents. And the feeling that your parents didn't love you and gave you up. It is very devastating and traumatic from a child. And that shaped his drive to prove himself, to become somebody, to prove that he's of value. And even Elon Musk has talked about his really dysfunctional and tough childhood in dealing with his father. And you look at that and go, my goodness, he took something that was a very negative situation and turned it into a positive, something positive, but he's also a workaholic. And it's this feeling like, being CEO of one company is not enough. Being CEO of two companies is not enough. I always need to push and drive and become successful and make a name for myself and show my father that I was good enough and I succeeded and that it's his loss that he didn't love and accept me as I am. And we all carry that baggage around with us. Nobody's parents are perfect. Nobody's childhood was perfect. It's not even just your parents. It's your peers. It's your teachers. It's your coaches. It's religious leaders. There's so many influences that shape us and mold us. And there's positive and there's a lot of negative ones. And we can spend years, decades trying to get rid of that baggage instead of, like the previous examples I've given, make allies with our childhood and the challenges that we faced and allow it to shape us and mold us into a much better person and to have that growth mindset and not be a victim of our childhood and not dwell on that and really not try to get rid of it. So much of my journey and destiny was shaped by my childhood, and in positive ways, negative experiences, all of them have really propelled me into the career and profession of life coaching and helping people and helping people to work through their challenges that they encounter and just become better, more self-actualized people. And it was my journey and my struggles that got me to this point. It was my drive to heal some of my own inner wounds that really shaped and molded me. And I feel like it's, in the end, it's made me a much better, deeper, richer person. And I noticed when working with some of my clients, a number of them have had challenging or dysfunctional childhoods. And there's something that in that struggle creates a much deeper, more evolved, more self-aware, more sensitive, more empathetic personality. And it's very rewarding to take something like a ball of yarn that's all knotted up and to help people navigate that and to look at it as something as of value. But even then, it's still going to be with us. And one of the things that really sets us free is just accepting that this is who we are, warts and all. You know, the good, bad, and ugly, we are who we are. And the more we fight with that, the worse we feel about ourselves. The more we compare ourselves to other people who have completely different childhoods or completely different life experiences, completely different DNA and genetic factors, that we've got to walk our own walk. And I have some clients that are just really socially awkward, and they keep on pushing. I want to get rid of that. I don't want to be socially awkward. I hate that about myself. Instead of just embracing it. You know, when it comes to small talk, I'm socially awkward. I do not enjoy small talk, and I'm not good at it. When it comes to one-on-one, deeper, stimulating conversations, I thrive in that environment. And when I accepted that, it just really set me free. I allowed myself to be awkward with small talk. Nothing wrong with that. And we all have hiccups and things that we don't like about our personalities. And it really just makes us who we are. And when we embrace those things, we can work on strengthening them, and we can work on working on our strengths and the things that, the positive attributes, because we all have good and bad, and even, you know, everything comes with pros and cons. You know, I'm terrible, I'm below average in small talk, really good and excel in more deeper intellectual stimulating talk. And it's a pros and cons, and we can't have it all, we can't be it all, and we're not going to. And so just that gentleness of allowing yourself to be human, allowing yourself to know that so much of who you are is, like, you know, up to 50% is genetic. It's just the cards you got dealt. You can't change that. You had no influence over that. And the rest, the environmental factors, you do have some influence, but still, that really shaped you as a young person. And we take so much of that into our adulthood. And as a life coach, one of the things I really find fulfilling is helping people cut those balls and chains of old habit patterns that they practice of maybe people pleasing when they were young, because they did grow up in a dysfunctional home, and that was the only way not to rock the boat, not to upset the adults or the people that were above us. And then we carry that into the adulthood. And there are ways to heal that, there are ways to overcome that, but it's not going to be a dramatic overnight change. It takes time, it takes effort, it takes energy, but you can improve on the hand that you're dealt, would be my point. Thanks for tuning in. As always, comments greatly appreciated. If you're interested in affordable life coaching, send me an email in the description. And the consultation is free. The first session is 50% off, and everybody will get something of value out of life coaching. And some of the viewers, subscribers have made donations to the channel. There's a PayPal link in the description. Some of them very generous, and I just want to reach out to you and say thank you very much. I really appreciate it, and it really inspires me and shows me that you find these videos valuable. And this is how I put food on the table. This is how I pay the bills. This is my profession. So I just greatly appreciate it. If you like the video, please like it and subscribe and share it if you know anybody who would benefit from these types of outside of the box thinking videos. Until next time, bye-bye.